Welcome to the pack. I'm Todd Wise, and in this video we're going to go over block 1 of our training program that we use for affiliates and our GPP programming. We're going to go over the priorities of this first block of training, how it's going to be executed, and things that you can focus on to maximize the training when you see it every day. So the first thing we want to start with is, what are the priorities? Our first main priority is going to be strength. The second priority is going to be stability of the strength, and our third priority is going to be an endurance base. Starting with the strength, we're going to work on absolute strength, and we're using 4 lifts: the front squat, push press, deadlift, and the back squat. We're going to use a Windler style method of repetitions. We're going to go 5, 3, 1. You'll see this in CrossFit pretty classically. It works great for strength, and it's something that we're going to do, test out, and do it over the course of 9 weeks. So week 1, 4, and 7, we're going to do 5 repetitions, and that's going to be your baseline for each one of those weeks, going into the following 2 weeks of 3 and 1. So weeks 2, 5, and 8 will be your 3s. You're going to go 105 to 110% of your 5 reps. So we're going to be building linear progression of the first week. And then week 3, 6, and 9 is going to be your 1 repetition. We're going to go 110 to 130%. So these repetition ranges are broad because since we're not doing one-on-one coaching for you guys, our hope is to hit everyone where they're at. Some athletes may be able to do a higher percentage each week, and that's okay. Some may have to keep it pretty low because it's challenging for you. The most important thing to keep in mind when we're doing this is our technique. So our squat mechanics, how we push press or dip and drive, our back angle and our legs and positioning for the deadlift, and same thing, our squat mechanics for the back squat. We want to make sure that these positions of the technique are correct, and then how you're bracing your belly for a lot of the things. We want to make sure we don't arch our back in either the push press and the deadlift. We want to claim positions that look really good in these strength pieces. If you're having trouble with those, hopefully in your affiliate, your coach can coach you in positions, but we want technique overload and position overload and bracing overload. So make sure that we're hitting those 3 things and not just adding more weight to the bar because it says so. So each week, if the 3 has to be pretty low, but your technique, your position, and your bracing stays constant, keep those things and don't just push the load because we said so. So we're gonna do 9 weeks of this, and then we'll test some 1RMs down the road. For stability, we're gonna be doing a lot of that work in our warm-ups. You guys are used to contralateral stability stuff, pressing, squat therapy. We'll do that in our warm-ups to supplement this strength. The other way we're going to work on our stability is gymnastics. You might have noticed that there's a lot of overhead positioning, wall holds, wall walks, things of that nature that are going to build to a better strength base. And then also gymnastics of the midline. So things that you see naturally from hollow rocks, arch rocks, kipping on the bar, GHD sit-ups, GHRs, plank holds of all styles and variants. We're going to be working on those things so that way our bellies stay tight and braced through all of our weightlifting. For you guys, this takes personal movement and accountability. When we're doing gymnastics, we want to create the best shapes and positions. So don't allow yourself to just be good enough. Always be meticulous in where your hands go. Is your shoulder flexed or extended the right way? Is your width of your hands appropriate? Are you using your midline, extending your hips, closing your hip the way you need for the gymnastics? And hopefully you're going to use your coaches a lot in class as a coach's eye. Make sure you're always asking the coach if you're making the right patterns and shapes. And it goes right back to our strength too. Same thing. Use your coaches to make sure that you're doing the movements appropriately and you're in the best positions for you. Everybody's position is going to be a little bit different, so it is going to take whether you're videotaping yourself or using a coach to figure out what is the best position for you. And in block 1, this is the time to do that because we're going to move on to more dynamic movements like the Olympic lifting, and we want to make sure that the base is really strong before we go into those things. And then for our endurance base, we're just building volume. You guys have already been running a little bit, rowing a little bit, and you're going to see that just progressively increase. Nothing real fancy here, just easy efforts. Zone 2 to 3 for your heart rate, so that starts about 125 beats to about 145 beats a minute. It's a real conversational pace. We're just trying to get low intensity, volume accumulation, and used to being on the machines or running on the road. While you're doing these things, Technique and position, the same thing back here. Technique of how your stride is. If you're midfoot striking on your running, you're not crossing your body with your hands, you're keeping an upright torso, leaning forward, hitting the figure four positions, and working on those good running mechanics, so that way when we do even longer miles or fast sprints, you're able to increase your velocity and power, and then that helps your aerobic system. If you're rowing a lot, make sure that we're working on the catch, the drive, and then your heel position on the foot plate. A lot of people will let their heels come up off the foot plate. Now's the time to increase the ankle range of motion, keeping your heels on the foot plate when you come in towards the rower on the catch or the return, and then driving through your legs and finishing with the arms and keeping your back nice and flat on the rower. Again, use a coach, use a video to self-evaluate if you need to, but that's going to be block one, what we're going to be doing for the training plan for the pack. Enjoy the training, and we'll see you guys for block two.